Hello and Merry Vlogmas Day 2. I am so happy that you guys have joined me here today. I just wanted to come on and talk about a couple little things. First of all, the first clue of the merrymaking mystery knit along has dropped. I'm really excited to go and cast that on here in a little while. I also wanted to show you guys a finished cardigan project. So I'll show you my outfit of the day and I'll break down this new cardigan. So getting back here so you might be able to see me, I am wearing a skirt that I made from Love Notions. I can't remember what this skirt is called. I'll link it down below, but it is maybe the Sybil skirt, and there's a bunch of different variations. So this is the pleated skirt version. It's made in a Liverpool knit. I'm wearing it with tights and my usual boots. But this is the sweater I talked about, I think, last month. It is the Salal cardigan by Andy Satterlund. Yes, it is a discontinued pattern. Yes, today I actually have some actionable solutions for making your own. So, the first thing I want to show you about this pattern is it's a fitted top-down sweater. I did do quite the modification. So I created these little sleeve pleats, and I'm going to tell you how I did it. But one of the things that makes this sweater so interesting, keep sitting down and getting back up, is this little lace detail. So if you go to the Untangling Knots website and you download the guide to creating your own top-down set-in sleeve sweaters, you can use your measurements to figure out how to cast on this sweater. These sweaters are all knit by knitting the back to the armhole, picking up stitches at the shoulders and knitting down to the armhole for both fronts, then casting on a couple stitches where the armhole would be and joining it all to work in the round. This is a DK to worsted weight sweater. I used Cascade 220 in the color Tahitian Rose. Now, this sweater, when you're picking up stitches to knit down for the fronts, what you want to do is also come up with an easy stitch pattern. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 stitch repeat. Any 4 stitch eyelet pattern will work. And then what you do is you pick up those stitches and however many stitches you need, and you work that eyelet pattern all the way across. And you do that 4-row repeat 2 times. The next row, you knit 4 stitches in stockinette, and then the rest is your eyelet pattern. And you do that 8 rows to make 2 repeats. And you keep doing that, adding stockinette stitches until you create this V. So you have less and less stitches as you go on this end that are the eyelet, and that creates that shape. To make my sleeves, all I did was pick up stitches to create the set-in sleeve knit from the top down, figured out where the center point of that sleeve is going to be, marked off the 10 stitches in the middle, and you work this doing short rows. So you're making a shape like this, going back and forth to shape the shoulder. When I got to the 10 center stitches, I knit them front to back. So now I have 20 stitches in the middle. Worked the sleeve shaping until I could get to the round. So all my short rows. And then when I got to the row where you're just knitting in the round, no more short rows, I just knit the 10 stitches 2 together. So I went from 20 stitches to 10. At the end of the whole sweater, I took my hand and pinched it into my little pleats and then sewed the pleats with a whip stitch on the back. And that's how this sweater is done. So hopefully this will give you guys some idea on how to recreate this yourselves. I'm sorry I keep sharing discontinued patterns, but they are the patterns I have in my stash that I love and knit the most and that fit me the best. So I also wanted to really quickly talk about I have rejoined Gertie's Patreon. I took like a 6 months break and I've decided to go back and try it because I got suckered into the Charm Patterns sale. So I ended up buying the Lana dress pattern, which I will show you guys. I really wanted a petal bust dress pattern. And honestly, I don't know if I'm ever gonna make it past the bodice because a boned dress is not really the best option when you have IBS like I do. But I really wanted to understand the construction of the petal bust. And I was hoping that maybe I could go from understanding to creating a version that might work for me, that might be a little bit less intense. But here is the Lana. So it's basically a Shaheen dress, if you're familiar with that is. And it's still on sale. So instead of being $22, it's $17.60 for the PDF. And yeah, I am excited to try this to see how it works and to see if maybe I could make like a version of the Lana that has straps that would cover a bra, because then I think I would actually wear it because I wouldn't have to put in as much interconstruction and boning to keep it up, and that might make it more IBS tummy friendly. But on top of that, there is the new Patreon pattern for the month. It's the last one of the year, and I'm wondering, do any of you guys do Gertie's Patreon? If you do, what do you think of this pattern? So I'm just gonna log in really quick and show you guys the pattern just in case you are not on her Patreon. Because I think it's interesting and I think it's got potential, but I do have a single concern about it. So it's the Final Exam blazer, and it looks amazing on Gertie, as always. It looks amazing on the models. There we go. There's Gertie. So it is a blazer made in Ponte knit, right? And it's cute. It's really cute. And I have a Ponte knit blazer that I do wear, but it's more fitted than this one. So I looked at the intended fit, and there is a couple more inches of ease at the waist than I really want. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to give it a shot. It's made in 20% stretch fabric, so quite a stable knit. And I'm trying to decide if I think it's worth trying this one out to make a blazer. And if I do make it, am I going to size down to like the 4 or the 2 in the waist so I get a more fitted silhouette through the waist? And I'm kind of leaning in that direction, because if I make it with the garment measurements that it has, I will never wear it. So to give you an idea, I'll just pull it up for you. Final Exam blazer. So the Final Exam blazer has a size chart here. So it says sizes 2 to 20. So the high bust, my closest one is the size 6, which is the 33 inches. I'm a 34. And then my full bust is 36 inches, which is their D to double D cup. The waist is 28 inches. My waist is more like 26. And the hips are 40. My hips are below the Gertie size measurement. So 36 inches in her size 2, but my hips are actually a 34. Now, if you go to finished garment measurements for me, so if I want this to fit and I did the D bust, which is what I looked like I needed in the size 6, it would be a 38-inch measurement on a knit blazer with stretch. No, I don't want it to be that loose. So I'm thinking maybe I'll do, the bust A is 36.5 inches, and I'd probably do that. The waist is 32 inches on the size 6 for a 28-inch waist. That's a lot of ease. So I would probably go down to the 2, which is a 28-inch waist. But already I'm like grading all over the place, right? And that is why I get a little bit nervous about Gertie patterns, but I am really convinced I can and will make them work for me this year. Famous last words. All right, I'm gonna go do some knitting and I will see you guys in a little while. So when I say things are a bit mad right now with the garage remodel, this is what I mean. So this used to have a giant garage door and no window. So we put in the window, we put in this French door instead of, when I say literally a garage door, like it was a automatic opening garage door that covered this entire front of the building. So that was nice. It's very cold out there today, by the way, and it's foggy. It's like a little John Carpenter movie out here. But I will show you the inside of the garage because we're getting quite close. Finally. Okay. So, as you can see, we have sheetrocked some walls. We have put up a ceiling. This room didn't actually have a ceiling. It just had like an open 12-foot like loft ceiling. So they actually put in a real ceiling. And we have got these beautiful purple walls, which I love. He put in 2 new windows over here. I mean, this room is very exciting. As you can see, it's filled with construction shit. Because we're in the process, right? So here is the problem. All the stuff that's supposed to go in that room, because this has taken a little longer than we expected, all the stuff that was supposed to go in that room, like furniture we have to build, has ended up in this room. So it's a lot of stuff, right? Right. But if you remember, in the fond old days of yore, this was my little craft corner where I keep my sewing machines. And then this was my sound booth where I went to work, which I'll be in shortly. But yeah, it's just chaos. And I mean, we were doing some of the Warhammer stuff in here. So all the Warhammer painting, some work in progress things that I'm working on. That's my Killican and one of my Orc boys. And I started painting those in October and just never got to finish because who can get anywhere? This is where Rob's music computer was, where he did a lot of writing. And then here's the guitar collection. There's some beautiful ones. But we haven't been able to use any of this stuff. And I haven't been able to sew. So we are very much looking forward to this being done. Hello everyone, it has been a good couple hours and I'm going to show you guys the clue 1 of the Telly Bee Knits Merry Making Knit Along. It's a mystery knit along where you create a cowl. If you do not want to see the spoiler for clue 1, you should look away now and I'll tell you when to look back. So I'm going to admit I have made mistakes in this. This is clue 1. This is the top that goes around your neck of the top down cowl. So we have used color 1 and color 2, and it's our 2 greens. And as you can see, we've got these fun little twisted stitches. There's these cool little stripes, but I completely dyslexified the directions, and I do not know if it is supposed to be with the little floats in front, like I did the first time around, or if the floats are supposed to be more customarily in the back. I have decided that it looks pretty cool both ways, and I am just gonna go with it because this is quite a quick knit along. You only have 12 days of mystery clues, and I just didn't want to get behind. So I like it. I think it's really cool. I really like my deep warm green with the cool sort of jade green. And I'm excited. All right, you can come back now if you are not wanting to see the spoiler. I've put it away. What I will say about the pattern though is that the directions are very clear. It's very easy to follow along and it's not too late to join in because that was only 28 rows of knitting. All right, I think that is it for Vlogmas Day 2. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you tomorrow.